Ooh, streaming status perfect. Alrighty. Good evening, everyone. We just want to welcome you back to our Wednesday night Bible study. Let's see if I can get situated here. Okay. First of all, my reading equipment didn't want to work, and I got it all figured out. And then when I went to go hit, it's really literally a go live button. When I hit the go live, stuff didn't work over there. So I was like scrambling around. So let me know. Make sure that you guys can hear me. If you guys can't hear me, give me that thumbs up if you can hear me. Put the, let's see, what face do we want? Put the angry face if you can't hear me. Put the thumbs up if you can. Angry face if you can't. Alright. So, what we're going to look at tonight is something that we was going to look at Sunday, but obviously we didn't get around to having Sunday school. And so, we're going to look at Luke, and it's going to be in chapter 6. And we're really going to look at verses, let's see here. The whole study was 27 through 38, but we're just going to look at the first couple of verses and what they mean. Okay? So we'll begin by reading, and then we'll look a little bit, and then maybe think about some examples that we can apply this to. So it says, beginning in verse 27, chapter 6 of Luke. It says, "But I say to you who listen, love your enemies, do what is good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, pray for those who mistreat you. If anyone hits you on the cheek, offer the other also, and if anyone takes away your coat, don't hold back your shirt either." Takes away your coat. They need an outer garment, and it's not that they take it away from you. They like grab it up from you. It's more of a giving gesture. If they need it, right? It says also give them your shirt as well. Give to everyone who asks you, and from someone who takes your things, don't ask for them back. And natives, they get in this. Us natives, we always have this. What do you call it? I forget what the phrase is called, what the term is called, but it's a title called being an Indian giver. That doesn't actually refer to natives giving things and then taking them back. It was applied to people who gave things to natives but then took them back. And one of the biggest Indian givers out there is obviously the United States of America. And, by the way, we had an inauguration. Everything went okay. Congratulations to the new president and the new vice president. And hope they have a really, really good... They can do a lot of good for this nation. But for the nation as a whole, they're Indian givers, right? That's what that means, that term. Anyways, verse 31, "Just as you want others to do for you, do the same for them." And again, I'm reading out the Christian Standard. Your verses in your Bible might be a little bit different. It might have the phrases a little bit different. But looking at the first two, "But I say to those who listen, love your enemies. Do what is good for those who hate you. To those who hate you, bless those who curse you. Pray for those who mistreat you." You know, one of the things that we have to really, really watch as we're growing up is that term bullying, that term abuse, and that term, what's it called? Oh, I was thinking of it earlier when I got all flustered over this technology stuff. Bullying, abuse, and, taking advantage of. That's a phrase I was thinking about, but it's mistreatment as well. Those three things happen a lot. And they start when we start becoming aware of the influence that we have over people. And I'm not just talking about power-hungry individuals. It might be that we want something special out of somebody. We want to do certain things with individuals, and we know that we can maybe get our way with some of that, and some of it might be good, right? When those young people start trying to find love and all that type of stuff, to get them to do something, we might try to reward them. We might try to do something for them, right? And so it's real basic, but it's manipulation. Even further than that, taking advantage of people. You know that they will do something, but you're not really giving them anything in return. You're not creating an equal relationship, right? And this can carry on into the business world. When we're looking at business types of deals, you know, everyone needs to win. We need to create an opportunity for everyone to prosper out of those things. Taking advantage of somebody would be like those really, really high interest rate, and not saying that there's not a benefit to those, but those loans and those credit cards and all those things that make you go into debt because they have really, really extravagant, enormously high interest rates, but they get you a little bit of cash that you might need now, and that's the ploy, right? They're gonna make a lot of money on the back end, but you get a little bit of relief in the beginning. Now, is it good? Sometimes it is. Sometimes the emergency cash is good, but in the long run, there's not really a benefit to the borrower. It's all the bank. It's all on the lender, right? They're the ones prospering more than the ones that are getting into that, because usually what it happens is, okay, let's renew this and then they start compounding that interest rate. See, taking advantage of them. Abuse. We all know what abuse is. We've all heard about those types of things, but it's basically just being mean when there's not really any purpose behind it. And then bullying is kind of the same way, but it's more derogatory. It's more just, it can be physical too, but it's more showing off and putting somebody down because you want to be somebody. And it doesn't have to be for popularity. It's just that you want to be mean to those people, which again is a form of abuse, but it's a whole different type. And kids go through this, but even more so, if we don't learn, if we continue those type of behavior, if we're guilty of that, we'll carry it on into adult relationships. We'll carry it on into these other types of environments where it's not healthy for us to be able to sustain and be able to grow, right? And we might tend to think of those people as our enemies. But there's really only one enemy. And bringing it back to the text here, this is what it's talking about. There's an enemy, and there's a person that opposes us as Christians, as believers, as God's people, as people that have been blessed, right? There is an opposition out there. This isn't what it's talking about. And that's not to get everything twisted or anything, but it says love your enemies. See, we might think of those people as our enemies, but Jesus right here coming onto the scene, getting into his sermon, getting into what he was really talking about, what he was going to minister to these people about, he was saying, think about it different. Love your enemies. Do what is good to those who hate you, right? If you've been on the receiving end of those bullying, of that abuse, or being taken advantage of, right? What he's saying here is, let it go. Let it go, because it's not good for you to hold on to that. Love your enemies. Do what is good to those who hate you, and bless those who curse you. Pray for those who mistreat you. Because again, wherever they're coming from, right, is not a place of love. And love, it's said again, Jesus talks about it later on, love can cover a multitude of sin. And it doesn't have to be by you. It doesn't have to be you sinning. You loving your enemy that is sinning towards you can help, right? And it's hard. It's hard to forgive. It's hard to overcome those things, but that's the first step, in remembering it's not about you. It's not about your suffering. It's about them suffering. And we want to be able to bless them. We want to be able to pray for them. We want to be able to hopefully turn them away from that kind of stuff. The only way we can do that is by trusting in the Lord, by being able to go to Him and seek Him, get His wisdom and be able to apply it. And that's what this next one is. Is it? Okay. That's what he's... And so here's an example, and it just gives you another example of what we were talking about. If anyone hits you on the cheek, offer the other also. And if anyone takes away your coat, don't hold back your shirt either. Give. Give. Continue to give, because that's where the real service to the Lord is. That's showing, and that's proving that action of love. Being able to give what they think that they want, right? Because it's not really something that we desire. We desire presence. We desire to be in a relationship with the Lord. These materialistic things, they're nice. It's nice to be warm and protected from the elements and all that type, but it's not really necessary. And that's what Jesus is really talking about here. Love is necessary. That service to God is necessary. And if anyone's going to have any impact on your enemies, it would be you being able to demonstrate that you love them. Now, obviously, there's some situations where you don't want to enable the abuse, to enable the bullying, or to enable you being taken advantage of in any kind of way, right? We want to avoid those situations completely. But if we are in a relationship that is on a little bit of a rocky road, and it doesn't have to be, right, spouse or friend or anything like that. It could be your coworker. It could be your neighbor, your physical neighbor around your neighborhood, your community. It could be your customers if you're at a business, right? If they are mean to you, and we all know customer service jobs are hard. You get a lot of flack. You get a lot of unruliness sometimes. But you know what? What Jesus is saying? Give to them. Love them. And sometimes it's hard. In those circumstances, it's hard. I want to say a little bit about what was being said at my mom's services these past couple days and all the stuff leading up to then, right? You know, what she did, even though people came at her sometimes what I would say the wrong way, she was obviously an adult, could handle herself and everything like that. But it wasn't about what was being directed at her. It was caring for the individual and making sure that they were getting the love, the care, the attention to be able to carry on, to pick up where they left off, and to be able to move and progress throughout life, so that they didn't just stay there and be there sometimes alone. Sometimes that's the word that they would use when they were describing those deals, that nobody would help them. Nobody would be able to do things for them. But you know what? She was one of those people that strive to help them. Went to lengths to be able to try to get them where they needed to go, or get them the help that they needed, or get them the support that they needed. And again, it wasn't like a thing about glorifying her or her department or even the nation. It was about them. And again, that's what Jesus is talking about here, trying to show that we care, show that we love. Again, love is an action. It's not just a word. It's an activity that can be seen and that can be shown. It's not a feeling. It's not this warm, fuzzy feeling. You know, that's kind of, it's good to feel that way. But love is an action. It's something that we go out and do, and that's our service to the Lord again. And we get to the part here that's kind of the main part of this. when we want something done different for us, we have to do something different for the individuals, right? So in the first couple verses, we was looking at things that are being done to us, and don't worry about that. And it's hard, right? But to sum it up, this is the golden rule, so to speak. It's a phrase that we probably should keep in mind when we want to do something to somebody in retaliation of, or if we just want things done well for us. Verse 31 says, just as you want others to do for you, do the same for them. I remember it, and it might be different in another book. I can't remember exactly, but it says, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. See, there's a balance here. And if things are out of balance and you're noticing it, right? Well, maybe if you look at your perspective, you maybe change your paradigm on the situation. There might be something that you can do to be able to bring that situation back into balance again. If something is missing in a relationship, well, maybe we should go out and provide it. If there's something out of whack with the situations we were talking about earlier, maybe we don't need to be a part of it. Maybe it's just something we need to remove ourselves from, right? We don't want to put ourselves in dangerous situations. Maybe our part is that we just remove ourselves completely. If we can't, we do something for those other people. Again, we have to show Jesus. We have to show love. Love is an action, and that's what these verses are talking about. If we're missing something, it's probably good to go do something nice for somebody else so that we can get that off our mind. And again, that's something that I was really paying attention to, right? We was feeling a little bit, dang, what was it? There was a situation like a week and a half ago. We was feeling, kind of down about, but Stina had said, well, let's go do something for these people. Let's go do this. And I remember that we did that. And you know what? We weren't feeling down about the situation anymore because we felt good. Because, again, we were serving the Lord. And it wasn't about glorifying us. It wasn't about glorifying anybody that was maybe helping us or anything like that. It was about glorifying God. Because, again, He was intervening. He was able to fix those things. He was able to bring bring those things to a resolution. And in our relationships that we're talking about, that those are trying times and things like that. This is what this is speaking about. Give and serve the Lord. Love that individual. Love your enemies. It's not saying the enemy, so to speak, the other one that's out there. These are our friends and our family. These are our neighbors, our co-workers, our community members. And we need to show that love. We think of them as enemies sometimes, but they're our brothers and our sisters, just as same as we are in Christ. And we need to reach out to them and we need to serve them. Maybe they've never seen somebody act like Jesus. That, you throw things at him, but he still loves you, right? We turn our back on our friends sometimes, but Jesus never turned his back on you. He's never forsake you. He will never leave you, especially if you turn to him and you turn your life over to him. It says it. He will never forsake you. He will never forget you. He will never put you out, so to speak. We know all the what's those called? Drawing a blank here. But the prodigal son. It's not that. What's that called? Anyways, those lessons in the Bible, right? We know those lessons. The father in that particular one never forsook his son. He requested a lot from him. He gave it to him. He knew it wasn't good for him, but you know what? That was what the Lord had laid upon his heart. He let him go, but he had hoped that he would return. And you know what? He did. And we seen where the other son, right, maybe didn't have it right in his heart. Again, that's something that we need to leave up to God. That's something that we need to turn over to God to be able to understand and to be able to see the resolution through. So that was just the first part, or no, it was the middle part of our lesson. But I thought it was fitting for this time because, again, we're in a new term, new presidential term. We may have been excited. We may have felt some different other feelings about the opposing thought or ideological side, right? But you know what? It's time to hopefully reach out and reconcile and pray for them. Because again, we're all in this together as a nation, but also as a people under God. As a nation that's been blessed for so many years to be able to do the things that we have been able to do. I just, this was a fitting deal. I don't know if the authors wrote it like that and all that, but you know what? It's fitting for this time because, again, we need to love our enemies. We need to do something for them. We need to show them that love. All right, so that's that for now. We'll be back live Sunday. Sunday school, we'll pick right back up where, well, probably not where we left off, but maybe we can finish out that and then jump into the next lesson. We don't want to get too far behind, so until Sunday at 7 or Sunday at 10. Sunday at 11 will be a main worship service, but then Saturday at 11 as well, 1600 AM KUSH. We'll have our Saturday morning program on after Native Air. So until then,